Alrighty, thank you. Appreciate everybody taking time out of their day to join us today. Also want to give a big thank you to LSI for putting us in front of people again. Awesome opportunity to be up here presenting to you guys and giving an overview of what CytoVeris has done. So CytoVeris started in 2018 with a mission to enhance the quality of cancer detection through AI-powered imaging solutions while improving outcomes and accessibility to surgeons and patients alike. We've identified a problem, and when you think about cancer surgery and intraoperative detection, there's a lot of issues in terms of whether or not there's cancer left over in those patients. And it goes without said that as a surgeon, as a pathologist, as a patient, as a payer, and as a institution, you want to ensure that those accuracies are there. So while we look at what that burden brings to society, it's significant from both an economic and a clinical perspective. In 2020, there was $161 billion spent in healthcare spending on cancer imaging, or cancer in general. Up to 40% of the surgeries resulted in a second or positive margin read from a pathologist, meaning that there was cancer left over in a patient. In breast cancer in particular, and this is our clear line of sight, we are going after an initial indication in breast cancer. Second surgeries resulted in greater than $1 billion in second surgery. Our aim is to decrease the reoperation rates by 50% and bring that down to about 500 million. Now, this is specific to breast cancer. Now, we see an application or an opportunity within the CytoVeris platform to apply this to many cancers and apply this to a minimally invasive platform and apply this to a robotics platform as well as a diagnostic platform. And I'll talk a little bit about those, but we'll stay focused today really on our clear line of sight, which is breast cancer. So how are we doing this? So my background, I came from a company called Novadac Technologies, which was bought by Stryker back in 2017. I headed up the marketing, sales, business development activities at Novadac as well. And we were focused on driving an imaging agent. Well, everything that compelled me to join CytoVeris was the fact that we weren't using an imaging agent. We were using the natural biological indicators within cancer, so biochemical and morphological changes, building the advanced optical tissue analysis using multispectral excitation and emission, and then building an algorithm to develop a predictability model to improve accurate decisions within intraoperative care. Now, what this can do is bridge that gap between the pathologist as well as the surgeon and give them more information intraoperatively. Our first product will be Tumor Map. It is powered by Oncocyte AI. So as I said, we are building an AI algorithm component. The first product, Tumor Map, again, we'll be focused in the breast cancer market. And one key thing and one key aspect of this is that we're not interrupting surgical workflow. So if a breast cancer surgeon is using a lesion device, if he's using a radiography device, we work within that workflow. So there's no disruptive interruptions within that particular time, and we're reducing the surgical outcomes. So if you think about the current standard of care, tissue is removed, surgeon uses a device, assesses those margins, may take more cavity, may take less. That is then sent to histopathology for assessment. 7 to 10 days later, the patient, the physician get those results. We're trying to improve that communication path. What's our global market outlook look like? So phase one, as we talk about breast cancer, we've got a $150 million addressable market in our initial launch. If we spread that out and look at what the global opportunity looks like, breast cancer is number 3 cancer in the world. Gives us an addressable market of $1 billion in that particular market. As I talked about, CytoVeris is working on a platform solution and the opportunity to really address multiple surgeries. 1.9 million new cancers emerge, or new cancer cases emerge in 2020. That means if we can develop a product that fits within the ex vivo space, the in vivo space, and the diagnostic opportunity, we have an addressable market of greater than $1 billion. Pathway for commercialization. We look to gain FDA approval in late 2023 with a limited market launch. We will commercialize fully in 2024. Right now, we are currently partnering with Yale Smile Cancer Center, Hartford Healthcare, and we're focused on developing our algorithm. Early in 2021 or 2022, we will begin our intraoperative feasibility. We'll enroll 50 patients focused on a concordant study with the histopathology results, and then we'll transition directly into our intraoperative pivotal study for indication. Key to this is we have started our CMS process. Coming in an area that is new, we want to make sure we initiate that new tech add-on strategy. But the nice part about the technology is because it has a combination use within the pathological setting, we believe immediately out of the gates that we'll have a reimbursement structure within the pathology tools and uses statements. From an executive management perspective, the team brings a tremendous amount of value and a tremendous amount of experience in the startup world. All have had experience with venture capital-led firms, many with exits, including our founder, Alan Kersey, Mike Zapak, as well as Patrick Curry. We'll talk about myself, but we'll talk a little bit about our Chief Medical Officer, who has 25 years of clinical and entrepreneurial experience. He's also the former founder and CEO of LifeLink, as well as Minute Clinic as well. Tremendous opportunity within this group, tremendous experience, and great leadership at the helm with Alan Kersey. So what's the smart cancer imaging roadmap look like? Right now, again, we are looking at ex vivo uses. Over the course of the next few months, we will begin to look at TURBC biopsies. Bladder cancer is the most costly cancer amongst the entire market. So we'll begin a study looking at those biopsies. We have had discussions and we'll begin a study in liver lesion, so both for primary as well as secondary metastatic cancers. And then we've also had interest in a lot of other areas. Again, the whole concept of the technology is really to build a platform-based technology that can be applied to many different realms. Financing, we are in our Series B. We've raised $7.8 million to date. Our next round will be a B2, Q3 2021, raising $6 to $8 million. Next year, we'll be looking towards a Series C round. Yet to be determined the financial amount, but the key activities will be to drive the regulatory and reimbursement pathway, build our alpha and beta prototypes, and then drive our clinical studies and plan for commercialization prep and ramp. I thank you all for the time and look forward to connecting with you over the course of the next few days. Thank you.